Is it a red flag when a whiskey doubles in price overnight? Probably, but is it still worth it? Welcome to Whiskey Catapult, where we catapult around the world, trying whiskey from all over the world. Today, we are catapulting over to Ireland for some red spot. So, this is from the Midleton distillery. It is from the Spot series. There's green, yellow, red, blue, and gold. This is the red one. It's aged for 15 years. Triple cask maturation in bourbon, sherry, and marsala. It is non-chill filtered and is bottled at 46% ABV. So I bought this whiskey about 2.5 years ago. And when I bought it, it was $165 US. So at the time, that still felt like a lot of money for it, but I had never seen the red spot come stateside, so I was very excited. Went ahead and pulled the trigger and got it. And it also came in this very nice steel bottle holder thing. So cool little souvenir to kind of go along with it. But shortly after I got it, the next time I saw it in stores, it had jumped up to $300. And this is not secondary. This is just regular MSRP at my local shops. And it was not just one, every shop was selling this for $300. So don't know if there was just a crazy hype around it where they thought they could get away from selling it for $300, or if there was some tariff or cost fluctuations that kind of went into it. It's really hard to say, but I'll get into that more in a little bit. Very nice nose. If you've ever had red spot before, specifically green spot. So yellow spot is 100% malted barley. Green spot is single pot still. This one is also single pot still, so partially unmalted and malted barley. You get that really nice butterscotch coming through on the nose. It's very light, kind of sweet. There's a little bit of dark fruit kind of flowing in there from the different casks that you get. It's a pretty nice nose, but it is pretty light. But given that it's 46% ABV, that's not overly surprising. The sweetness still comes through. Some of the fruit ties in. Still get that butterscotch. Kind of that shortbread cookie kind of notes coming through. A little bit of a dryness to it. And that could be from the wine cask influence. You can definitely pick up the Oloroso sherry cask influence. That dark fruit's kind of in there. And then at the end, there's a little bit of like a barley sugar note. So it's nice. Finish also kind of stays in that light realm. It does linger a while. Some of the fruit kind of comes in as well. It's kind of got a zangy, zesty kind of note. But it's nice. It's really good. So, as I said, a couple years ago, right after buying this one, price skyrocketed for this, up to $300. And you could pretty much find it everywhere because no one was buying it at $300. And I don't really blame them. I thought even at 160, it seemed pretty high. But over the last year, prices have come down a little bit. I see it everywhere for about $200 now. I think the market, the stores and shops just kind of realized, hey, no one wants it at 300, so let's try it at 2. I still see it available, so I'm going to assume that 2 is still a little bit too high for them, for most people. And it's a 15-year-old Irish whiskey. Who's to kind of blame them? Now, if this were bottled at cask strength, I could see making the jump a little bit closer to 200, but even then it's a little tight. So my recommendation on this one is going to be based on what I paid for it for 160, and then I'll kind of tie that into it being, if you can find it for 200, is it worth that? Okay, it's had a little time now. There's a little bit of a, not quite a dusty note, but if you ever go into like a antique store, there's kind of that like old kind of smell. Kind of has a little bit of that now. Yeah. Really nice sweetness. Classic butterscotch Irish whiskey kind of coming through. I was hoping for a little bit more fruit influence, given the number of casks. I may have just drowned that one. But it's still really nice. This is a... Excuse me. Really nice, enjoyable whiskey. So I had a little bit of water to it. We'll see what happens. I think I poured a little bit more than I wanted to. That's why it's nice to use a dropper. I should really get that and bring that in here and use that for this. Make it a little bit easier. Okay, yeah, it's softened a little bit, but more of the dark fruits coming through now when you add a little bit of water. Let's see. Yep. Fruit's coming through a little bit more. Butterscotch is softened a little bit. Doesn't quite have that dryness that it had before, but you can still pick up the Oloroso sherry cask. Yeah, don't really get the barley sugar anymore, but still a little bit of that shortbread in there. It's nice. It's good whiskey. So for what I paid for it, for 160, I do think it's worth that. If you can find it through a online retailer or something for around that cost, where shipping is kind of part of that total cost, I do think it's worth it. 200 is a little steep. Definitely wouldn't recommend this for 300. That's outrageous and way too overkill. But 200's tough. I don't think I could recommend it for that price. But if you're able to get it for a good deal, like I said, my area, I still see it for $200. I wouldn't buy another one for that. I mean, I've had a decent amount of this, so I've definitely enjoyed my time with it, but I don't think I could recommend it for more than 160, 170. Unless you like, a lot of people like to collect the whole range. They got green spot, yellow spot, gold spot even. Actually, funny enough, the gold spot, which is like a limited annual release that they do, I believe this last year's was a 13-year. It's cheaper than the red spot right now. It was, I think, 150 at the store when I saw it. And I was like, that's not bad. For a limited release like that, sure. But it's crazy that this one was still floating in that, $300 range for a while. I don't know what happened, if that was just, that's what local retailers were able to buy it for, and that's just the price they had to set for it based on the distributor, or if they just thought that there was going to be a frenzy and try to get $300 out of people during the, it wasn't even during the height of the whiskey phase, honestly. So don't know what they were thinking, but thankfully the price has gone down. Hopefully it continues to go back down to where it belongs, but time will tell. Yeah. Nice thing is it kind of evolves and expands over time. So this is not one that you want to just kind of drink through quickly, move on to the next one. This is a good one to take your time with. A lot of the different fruits and kind of experiences with this one kind of draw itself out the longer it's in the glass. So, okay, yeah. That barley sugar is really coming through now at the end. And it's not the, you don't get any of the grain note, which I really like. It's just that barley sugar that comes through. That's just that nice little bit of sweetness at the end that kind of kicks it up a notch. So, yeah. If you can get this for 150, 160 bucks, I recommend it. It's delicious. If you see it for 200 or more, I'd say pass. See if you can find it somewhere else for cheaper. This is a pretty good addition to the spot range. I think the green spot's the entry level one. I usually see that one for about 60 bucks. Worth picking up. It's very green apple heavy. The yellow spot's gone up in price too. It used to be about 80, 90. and now in my area it's like 120. Tough to recommend that one for that price. So hopefully they all kind of start coming down a little bit, but inflation's a thing, tariffs are a thing. There's a lot of stuff going on at the moment. So at least the time of this recording. But yeah, so it really just hinges on price. I don't think it's worth more than 160, 170. So if you can get it for less than that, I think it's worth the pickup. So yeah. If you enjoyed this review, hit that like button and subscribe to see where we catapult off to next. Cheers.